welcome to Talk Right Show. I'm your host, Wayne Stennett, and here with me tonight, Kirk Jockell, Mac Fortner, a couple of fellow tropical authors. Nick, why don't you take over and give us a short intro for these guys?
All right. Well, we also have Don Rich joining us.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Don.
And we've got some interesting, I've learned something about Don, which I'll save for later. Let's see. We have Kirk Jockell, and I'm going to ask you to fill this in, but I know you from the Tales from the Stool series, which I love, but you've written quite a bit since then. And Mac Fortner has the Cam Derringer series. And one of my questions will be, does Cam, in fact, have a Derringer? That's something I want to know. Let's see. Let's just go down the line here real quick and tell us what you're working on, because I know, Mac, we just had a brand new Cam Derringer hit the internet.
We did. The Lost Souls of the Keys. Just went live on the 29th. And I'm working on already 15,000 words into the next one. I don't know what it's about yet. No, it's coming along real good, though.
Excellent. And Kirk, are you working on something? I don't know if I can say, but I saw a really cool cover for it.
Yeah, it's the eighth book in the Nigel Logan action series called Trapped, and it's really surrounds an actual organization in Cuba called the Henry Reeves Medical Brigade, which is actually state-sponsored human trafficking, and they source out medical individuals to various countries for sale, and they take their passports away.
Oh, wow.
They pay them virtually nothing. And so Nigel kind of gets wrapped around in a situation in Belize, which after doing my research in Belize, I've got to go. And so he's going to be saving some people, some medical professionals that have gotten themselves into this trapped situation with this medical brigade, which is actually true. If you go to the U.S. State Department website, look it up.
It's Henry Reeves Medical.
Henry Reeves International Medical Brigade.
Huh. I
mean, it's an actual entity. I always try to include some factual context in any of the books that I write.
That's Rising Thunder was set in. It was Rising Thunder was set in Belize, and Jesse went after organ harvesters.
Okay.
This guy was hooking up with local prostitutes, gassing them, harvesting the organs, and splitting. What about you, Don? What's going on with you?
I'm working on that new series, the Mob Jack Creek series, and working on I finished the Magnet, the giveaway book on that, and I'm now working on the #1 in the series. And I'm also working on the 12th book in the Coastal Adventure series.
That's just a cool name, Mob Jack. Have you done any research on that since last we spoke?
No, all I found was what I told you the last time, that it was possibly had something to do with Indian something, but just Mob Jack Bay is the area.
I love it. That's a cool sound.
Yeah, it is.
And what's going on with the prequels there, Nick?
Well, the Boone prequel, I'm just shy. I was sort of hoping I could hit it before this talk right, but I'm coming up on 30,000. And I've gotten Boone from 11 years old almost to being done with college. And from that point on, it's just Curacao and then Bonaire, and then he meets Emily. So it's coming along. A month ago, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it in time for my editor deadline, but it's going to happen. And the cover just landed in my inbox yesterday.
Oh, cool.
So moving along.
I'm looking forward to listening to it. I don't read anymore.
Yeah.
I just had Swift and Silent came out on the 1st, and it did really well. It went into KU, but a week before that, it came out on my website, and all the wide retailers. And then I clicked after it was released on Amazon, that's when I enrolled it at KU. So it had about a 6 or 7 hour delay that wasn't in KU. But it did really well. It's already got over 200 reviews. I'm happy with it.
Now your cover for that was a picture that Greta took, was it not?
Greta took that picture from our balcony at NINC last September.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
I remember.
Beautiful sunset picture. It looks like there's a campfire down there in the woods. You know,
Phenomenal.
It's this walkway lights shining up into the trees. They were orange.
When she posted it on her Facebook page, I mean, I commented, I said, "That's a cover."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I think I
that's
know.
what I snagged. I sent that to my cover
Great
designer.
cover.
I said, is this high definition enough? She said, oh yeah, this is great.
Oh,
I didn't
fantastic!
have to do anything to it.
The sunsets there are so wild. And I've seen so many people on Facebook that were there at NINC that have all been posting the sunset pictures. Just so beautiful.
And the pictures just really, I mean, you can't do justice to a Gulf Coast sunset with a picture, man. Even a video doesn't get it.
Now, speaking of the Gulf Coast, I know where you are now, but let our viewers know how it is that the three of you are in a room together.
Well, me and my family, we're here on our annual spring break vacation. My daughter Jordan, she's a producer, sitting on the other side of the camera right there. She's in her senior year of college and spring break, so we always go somewhere. And this year we decided on Apalachicola Bay, and actually we're in St. George Island. We have a VRBO right on the beach. It's been absolutely perfect except for the weather. It's rained, except for about 5 hours yesterday. It's rained the whole time we were here. And these guys, well, you live close by, and he's down here visiting close by, so they dropped right on in.
It's been 3 months, January, February, and March, we spent in Panama City Beach. To try to get away from the bad weather. Well, this year, we must have brought it with us because so far it hasn't been too great.
It's got to be better.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It's only a 2 hour drive today in pouring rain to get. So
And I'm 25 minutes west of Apalachicola and Port St. Joe, over in the Cape San Blas area, and I'm a townie in there. My wife still actually works in North Georgia, so we tear up the roads back and forth, and yeah, we love it. Eventually, St. Joe.
She works.
She
In northern Georgia?
Letter word. Huh?
So you drive up to her house for the week and come back down here for the weekend?
I only get money.
No, I'll typically be down there. I'm only here for a week this week, but like I was here for 5 weeks, just a little while ago. So I'm down here more than I am up there. But she gets off on Friday. She's got a real flexible job with the fire department, so she can kind of make her own hours. So she tears up the roads more than I do. She can't stay away from. I'm a kept man.
Well, Don, let's see. You're currently in Virginia, right?
I am. I'm in Crozet, just about 12 miles west of Charlottesville, right at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which Wayne knows this area really well.
But I understand you did spend some time in Florida.
My first 40 years. I'm a fifth generation Floridian. I know
Gotcha.
where I'm going with this.
This is
And yeah, you do know where I'm going with this. So when somebody just casually mentions in the pre-show talk, yeah, so I was a mayor, immediately everybody wants to know more. So you were mayor in somewhere in Palm Beach County, correct?
Yes, Lake Clark Shores. It's one of there are 37 municipalities in Palm Beach County, and it's one of the middle ones. It's not one of the larger ones, but it's still a very beautiful place to live.
Wow. Now, did someone talk you into running, or was there something that annoyed you that was going on and you decided to run to fix it?
Yeah, something that annoyed me. I can do better than these guys, and let me tell you, it is the most fun job you'll ever run for, that you'll ever try to get. And The job itself sucks.
Oh, okay.
That's all he's going to say about that.
The end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's,
Hey, Don, were you ever able to leverage that local power to like maybe get yourself out of like a DUI or something? Or
no, ran my
Nope.
tractor around the lake once, and but that's about it.
not even a speeding ticket?
Nope, no, and oh man, let me tell you, we had laser, we had radar, we had everything. It's pretty much the biggest speed trap in Palm Beach County. When you
That's
come off
something to be
of
proud of.
I-95 on Forest Hill Boulevard and head west, you better slow down.
And Don Reese says, I did that.
That was it.
Oh,
Nope.
funny.
Well, let's see. Let me see if there are any questions. Not yet, unless I don't know how to do this. All right, if you got any questions, I see we have some people watching, so throw them up in the chat. All right. Well, let's see. Mac, Lost Souls of the Keys. What number is that? Like, where is Cam Derringer at this
That's
point in his life?
number 15 in the series. Yeah, and plus a prequel that is a giveaway for the mailing list. Yeah, so it's been I don't know. You know, I started out writing. I had a different series, Sunny Ray series, and it started. The very first book started out as called Run City Bar, which was a song I wrote. And then I decided to go up. I was going to write another song, and I thought, no, I'm going to elaborate on this one a little bit, and end up writing a book, and didn't even plan to write a book. And that was the first one I wrote. And then I wanted to change, so I wrote some, and it started out, let me tell you, on the Rum City Bar started out with this guy leaving Evansville, Indiana. He went to Nashville to be a star. Well, he got in a lot of trouble. Ended up getting chased down to the Keys. And then I don't know what happened, but he ended up out on an island in the second dimension. And wild things started happening there. And then the next two books in that series were just paranormal books. And I had no idea that's where that was going. I mean, if you're a pantser and you write like that,
That's what happens.
yeah, it just, there all of a sudden takes off over there, and that's what happened to that.
But Michael Rydick, New Madrid Run. Have you read
Yeah.
that? That is a really cool book. It starts out just like a normal day in the Keys. Guy's taking off in his airplane. He gets, just as he's starting down the runway, he sees this wall of water, and there's been this giant earthquake, and it literally wipes out all of Florida. And the Mississippi River Delta, the whole Mississippi River Valley area becomes an inland sea.
Oh,
And Arkansas, Jordan, could you grab the charger for me and plug that in somehow?
Uh-oh. Well,
we'll see you guys next month.
let's see.
Yeah, that's how a book can change from a
It can.
sea adventure to, are we froze up? Yes,
Probably
we are.
how Cowboys and Aliens came about.
Cowboys
Yeah,
and
definitely
Aliens?
could be. Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh yeah, that thing's great.
Although to this day, I still enjoy when I walked into Audible one day and they were recording a book I'd never heard of called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. And it was basically Pride and Prejudice with zombies. That's all it was. Hilarious. Let's see. Let me ask Kirk, what can you tell us about the Nigel Logan character?
Well, Nigel is he's a retired Navy chief that ends up leaving Norfolk, Virginia on his sailboat in the wake of the suspicion of a murder of a local rapper thug, and ends up finding himself into the Gulf of Mexico. Actually stops in Boca Chica, and the guys in there were listening to Oyster Radio. All the guys. Oyster Radio is our local radio station here, and so all the chiefs down at Boca Chica and the Keys, they like to go up there to go fishing, so they like to stream Oyster Radio, and so hearing all the names of the small towns, everything that's going on. When he left, he decided to go to Port St. Joe, and kind of ends up there and falls in the lap of a tremendous number of lovable characters, but his dark past continues to follow him, and so he can never quite shake that. So he tries to hide it for as long as he can, but eventually it all comes to a head. So now he's just a bad guy with a good guy with a bad reputation for hurting bad people.
How many degrees off of your biography would that be?
Not too much.
I retired as senior chief. He was only a chief. I was a senior chief.
I left the Corps as a corporal, and Jesse's gunnery sergeant. We got to get a promotion somehow.
That's right.
Let me ask Don. So the Mob Jack, where is Mob Jack Creek? That's a real place?
Mob Jack Creek is not. Mob Jack Bay is a big bay on the western side of the middle lower part of the Chesapeake Bay, and a lot of little rivers off of that all converge there. And so I invented Mob Jack Creek, but there's a place called Hudgens Horn Marina, and this is I'm kind of using it as a guideline for where this is going to take place, at Mob Jack Creek Marina.
Just curious, because you said you spent first 40 years of your life in Florida. Have you written any books set in Florida, or ever thought about it?
Some of the Coastal Adventure series go to Florida. A couple of the episodes happen in Florida partially, and thought about it. But gosh, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about, well, got to find a new place to set my books, because man, everybody's setting their books now in Key West, and I forget who it was, but yeah, it just so I stick up here just because it's different.
Yeah.
So just so that I'm not lost in the crowd. This is kind of my own thing. Although now there's a few other people that are doing stuff around the Chesapeake.
Somebody's got an Outer Banks series, if I remember correctly. Doug Brissotti?
Yeah. Doug's down. He's down.
Newbern. I'm pretty sure he's in Newbern.
He's in Newbern, and he gets around Manio and that area. He's Doug's quite a character. I like him a lot.
Let's see. I'm out of questions, Wayne. Do you have any here while I check the YouTube feed?
No, I'm just going along for the ride.
Oh,
I'm on vacation.
Well, we
Actually,
have
my next book is going to be set right here. So I've already started the first chapter of it. And Jesse's going to run into Maggie Redmond, and she's no longer Redmond anymore, is she? Yeah. And she's probably not a lieutenant anymore. I don't know yet. I'm going to talk to Kat and see if maybe she's a captain now.
I miss Dawn Lee. She was so great. Dawn Lee McKinnon. It was funny. Turns out that she and I were both bouncing around the Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater about the same time, but I'd never met her. I was there. I went to Palm Beach Junior College, and we did a lot of work with Burt Reynolds Dinner Theater, and she was there, and she actually got a screenwriting job out of there.
Yeah, you might have bumped elbows somewhere.
Is that where she met Martin Sheen?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, she loved Martin Sheen. There's a character in her books, last name of Boudreaux, I believe.
Yes.
And she absolutely, she's like, when I write him, it's Martin Sheen, Martin Sheen, Martin Sheen is Boudreaux. Let's see, we have, it's not a question, but Wayne, Tom Calvin says he's read all of your books and spent many years owning property and living in the Keys. And it is so much fun. It makes him feel great to hear all the great spots in your books, both original and fictional.
Oh, thanks, Tom. I try to keep the original places original as possible. And the only fictional place I've written about in the Keys is the Rusty Anchor. And it's the pivotal place in all my books. Well, it's back to it now. We got away from it for a while there.
I got a email from one of my readers the other day, and talking about fictional places. And she asked if I could tell her where Betty's Bakery was in Key West. And said her and her husband were just there, and they looked for it, and they asked people, and nobody knew where it was. And so she's back home. She said, we're going back down in a couple of weeks, and we really want to go find it, because I talk about all these nice chocolate honey buns that Cam eats down there all the time. And I had to tell her, I'm sorry, I made that up.
It's on the corner of Walk and Don't Walk.
It is,
Somewhere
yeah.
on US 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had someone that was go ahead.
Becker just moved to the Keys after being on the west coast of Florida for so long and having a
He's
place
permanent down there now?
He's permanent down there now. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
just recently.
Is he at Big Pine? Is where he is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got a rental house in Marathon still, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I know he used to. That's where he started out at. He bought the
Mhm.
second rental. I guess he's moved into the second rental. I'm gonna have to get down there and see Steve.
Yeah.
I saw him post a picture yesterday or this morning. They were definitely on some serious fish. He was on the boat with his dog and his wife.
I keep seeing pictures of John Cunningham's feet dangling over a swimming pool down there in Key West. He's
Yeah.
certainly enjoying this period down there, and although it's been strangely warm up here in Jersey. Let's see if we got anything else here. Additional compliments on Jesse's Island. I guess that's a situation of it is a real island, but what you've done to it, of course, is
It's
fictional.
real. The island is real, but
Yeah.
everything on it is fiction. It's located on Harbor Channel, just about 1.3 miles from Becker's main character's island. They pass each other constantly. Anytime he goes anywhere on the boat, hey, how you doing, Jesse? We figured these guys live a mile apart. They both earn their living from the sea. They're both about the same age. It would be ridiculous if they didn't know each other.
Well, I keep waiting for the team up. You've had little chapters here and there, but seems to me like there is some gold to be mined.
Well, Jesse did help Mac out in I forget which book it was. He dropped him. He flew him out and dropped him somewhere out near Fort Jefferson.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It never just didn't end up finding it. I was writing a charity book at the time, so it didn't make it into mine.
All right, we don't have any. Go ahead.
Did I see something about a new charity book going into pre-order?
No new charity book yet.
Okay.
That's
But you got a young Jesse book coming.
Yeah, a new young Jesse book, Bad Blood. It's already finished. It's going to be coming to you for narration here in the next few weeks, and that'll be released June 1st. And
That's sort of my get Boone finished and off to the editor so I can do your book.
it's so much fun writing these young Jesse books because it's really my experiences and all through the Marine Corps. He's going to experience all these things that I did, but it's not about that. It's about when he takes leave and goes somewhere tropical.
Well, that actually is a nice segue, because the question I kind of have for all you guys is, I use a lot of my own personal experiences in my books. I mean, there's a lot of things, people say, this Nigel Logan is you. I'm going like, there's a lot of truth in it, but it's not me. But I mean, how much of the truth do you guys incorporate into your own characters?
For me, Jesse is morally the same as me, but he's 6'5", 6'3", 220 pounds buff, got all his hair. I'm Rusty. Rusty is me. We were born on the same day, same year. We have the same background, the same bald head, same red beard. Well, not red anymore, but his is turning white too. So yeah, I use a lot of real events, real characters from my past, people I've met all over the Keys, and
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
You can't not. I mean, they shape your thoughts. You're writing something. Oh yeah, so and so said that. He's a character.
My first book, I put a lot of my close friends in it and killed them all. So they thought it was funny at first, but now that I've written the host, this series, it keeps going. They can't be in it anymore. Yeah.
I did that in my second book. Every character in my second book were friends. I just said, who wants to be in my book? So I made 2 lists, male and female. Whenever a new character came up, I just picked from that list. And only one of them still exists today. Cheryl Krasinski is still the tech person for Jesse's team.
I use a lot of actual local people in my book. So all the musicians that show up in my books are real dear friends. Matt and Lisa Gardy, who is actually down in Geiger Key right now, used to own Bowery Station over here in Appalach, music and beer venue. So there's a lot of Bowery Station stories that occur in the book, and I use people want to be in them.
Yeah.
Now, so be careful what you do, and be careful what you say.
Yeah, anything's fiction for fodder. I was standing out on the dock several years ago, and usually after I'd finished, my office was up the 3rd floor above the marina. I'd go down to the common area where everybody's hanging out, take a 6-pack down there and pass them around. I was talking to this couple one time, they're real good friends, and she looks over my shoulder and she says, "Oh, 1 minute, I'll be right back." She runs over, this other couple's coming towards us, and she runs over. She obviously knew him. "Oh, I haven't seen you guys in years. I didn't see your boat pull in." And the woman says, "Oh, we don't have a sailboat anymore. We got a trawl." And the woman says, "Oh, you're a transvesselite." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm writing that shit down."
Steal that.
Transvesselite.
I like that.
Yeah, I've got a little notepad.
So that 2 years ago.
Well, we're at 7. You guys can keep going, but I have something I promised I would be there 15 minutes ago. So I'm going to wave and say, enjoy your vacation. All right.
See you again.
Talk to you later, Nick. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close because we got the dinner reservation.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for being on with us here, Don. And
Always enjoy it.
always a good time to see your face and talk about being mayors and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you were the mayor, Nick.
And thanks to our sponsors and supporters, Down Island Press, World Publicity, Pirate Radio, How Not to Sail, and who am I forgetting?
Tropical authors.
Tropical Authors. Duh.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
See you, Don.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah.